Well, it is time to get raw. It is time to get down. And I don't know where Marco is, but it's time for the number one source of all things WWE. And I am your host. Let's see if I can. Oh, there he is. He got disconnected. Well, we can't see him right now, but I am your host, the one and only J-Bone is in your city. And with me is Marco. Marco, where's your camera at, pal? Oh, you're gone again. What are you doing? What's happening right now, Marco? You're killing me. But we are live here on the RAWDOWN. And Marco, go ahead and if you can listen to me, go ahead and get out of the StreamYard. Come back on in. Because we are live here at the Turnbuckle So we got a lot to kind of get into as Marco kind of figures things out. We will be talking Fastlane, Fallout. We will be talking, we got Crown Jewel coming up. Got some Triple H Tuesday Night War. It was really interesting. The old Tuesday Night War. WWE versus NXT. Excellent. Good stuff. Yes, we were not here last week. Guys, let me tell you something. Do not buy a GMC. There he is.
I'm back.
It's Marco in your city. And we can't
like up and running, and now it's like going kaput.
But
we're back.
Anyways,
I feel like AEW right now.
It's a good one. So, anyways, yes, we had a little technical difficulties, but we're here. We're back. Jay, I was just talking to we were missed last week, and I was telling all the fine folks that watch Turnbuckle Tavern each and every week, watch the RAWDOWN, listen to the RAWDOWN. Do not, and I repeat, do not buy a GMC truck. It is a piece of shit.
So that's what I hear. I mean, you're speaking from experience right now too. So, jeez.
So yes, and yes, we are late. Kenny on the air. Personal life stuff, man. Work stuff kind of took a hold. Is what it is. But we're here. We're here this week, episode 101. Speaking of 101, Marco, let's talk. Let's drop everybody with some 101 knowledge, some wrestling 101 knowledge, as we go outside the ropes.
Outside the ropes.
Marco, I didn't properly introduce you, but how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing fine, man. Besides the craziness that's been happening, it's insane because you record. I've been recording like crazy, doing the open mic show.
Right.
We had crazy difficulties during the Chick Foley scary movie bracket that just dropped today. So it's just been a weird week of crazy mishaps, but I'm excited. We get to talk the week that is WWE. So a lot's happened since we've been on together, so we got to get to it.
Yeah. So we're gonna get some outside the rope news real quick, and I'm looking at you right now. Your rundown.
Yeah.
What's a rundown? What's from the office? Anybody know what a rundown is?
It's a rundown.
I gotta call my dad to find out what a rundown is. The rundown on the RAWDOWN here. We've got not terrible big news, but one thing I want to start off with appears to be that Triple H is in full control. I don't think it's I don't think that's groundbreaking information, though.
No, it is to most people out there. Obviously, a lot of people thought Vince McMahon would still, booking stuff like crazy. But if you couldn't tell, like I always say, by the 30-minute matches, the 6-match cards,
Right.
that's not a Vince McMahon booking at all. No backstage segments, just straight matches back to back to back.
Right.
That's it seems like that's how it was in NXT when Triple H was in charge of NXT. It was no backstage segments during those like pay-per-views or PLEs as they're called now. It was just back-to-back matches, just action. And I'm excited. It said I think it said TKO has handed over full creative control to Triple H, leaving Vince McMahon to do what he was hired to do. He's not a boss anymore. Ari is his boss now, so I mean, it was going to happen. I mean, that's step one of Vince McMahon's power struggle in WWE.
They had that show that Raw after Mania, which I definitely think there was some Vinceism in there, some Vince booking.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And then, but pretty much, maybe at least probably the next week. If I have to go back and really watch it, but
I think it was that. Yeah, I think it was that SmackDown.
Okay, all right.
I was like, because I was like, I guarantee. I was like, everyone just hold your horses. I remember this perfectly. I was like, watch SmackDown and see what happens. I think like the main event was like, I think like it was like Gunther and I think it was maybe Gunther and Ricochet for the title, for the IC title or something like that. Yeah. And I was like, that's not Vince McMahon booking. That's Triple H. And if you look at it now, you can definitely tell the DIY's back. Vince McMahon would never let that happen.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, that's a major indication right there. If anyone needs any assurance that Vince McMahon is not in charge anymore.
So, do you think at that point, like Vince, but Triple H had full control, like
as at SmackDown,
just everything?
I think.
Or do you think this is from the merger?
I think so. What I think is since what was that? That was after WrestleMania. So I'm thinking a little bit after WrestleMania when Vince McMahon came back, he was still doing some things. I'm thinking more Monday Night Raw. We'd have to definitely go back and look. But I'm thinking Monday Night Raw was probably what he was, making like changes on and stuff like that. Not anything on SmackDown. But I think it wasn't really noticeable. I think it was just like a few things here and there. Maybe like the Roman Reigns, like the Bloodline storyline he was involved with. But anything else, I don't think so. I think I'll tell you what, another indication, Lacey Evans is gone. Her like repackaging stopped.
Right.
And I think that was a Triple H call. I don't think he's seen anything, that was like noteworthy or, star-worthy with her and kind of just canned the whole thing. I think that was one indication there. What else? I will have to go back and look, but I think Vince McMahon was still not fully in charge, but I think he was still, giving his final say on some things. But if we go back, man, if you look at it's been Triple H the whole way, dude.
Yeah. Especially and if you need anybody that wins a tinfoil hat, if you need any more, it's that Vince is not there. Listen to the latest Talk is Jericho with Adam Copeland.
Yes.
FKA Edge. And Jericho even asked him, he's like, what was it like to be there without Vince in charge? He was like, it's a surreal thing. Like, he confirmed it. Like,
yeah.
It's the Triple H show. So,
yeah.
And that's what we're getting. And, it's pretty interesting. And we'll get into that with the Tuesday Night Wars. Just how much more serious, Triple H or WWE took it, obviously. And we'll get into that in just a bit. But I do think it was you definitely been in control for quite some time. I think probably had the keys like handed over to him after the merger. Like,
yeah, definitely.
He was in the rental car, and they were like, "Hey, you can have it."
You're like, it was his birthday, and they go, he opens all his gifts, and Ari's like, "That's not the final gift. He's like,
Yeah.
come step outside.
Yeah.
And in the driveway was this nice, bright, big, shiny car.
Right.
The keys. Take it. He's like, oh, for me?
Yeah.
that was a scenario.
I got it.
I think Vince is full business mode now. I think that's what they're going to use.
Right.
I was going to use him for his business mind, because there's one thing you could say about Vince McMahon is that guy knows how to run a business. I mean, he's done it for forever. What, 40 plus years?
40 plus years.
Minus the 20 that his father, had with the company. So, yeah. So good to see that that's definitely come out. The next thing I want to talk about, which will kind of lead into inside the ropes a little bit, but potentially moving Monday Night Raw to another night. Yeah.
There's kind of been some ideas. We kind of talked about it a couple weeks ago whenever they announced that Fox will no longer be part of the deal. It'll be SmackDown's coming back to USA. If we were to do that, if they were to change nights, which this is kind of a two-part question, would that be a bad move, and if you don't think it's be a bad move, or if you even think if it's a good move, what night would you put Raw on?
Damn. You'd have to. I mean, I would if I was. It would be a good move in the sense when football season starts for Raw, because they're not going to get killed in the ratings. I mean, they still probably will, but at least it's not on the same night. I'm not sure what they're doing with SmackDown. Is SmackDown staying on Friday nights? Is it moving to Monday? Is it going to be Monday Night SmackDown? Is that what we're looking at right now? I don't know. It's been like you said, it's been a staple for almost 31 years in that one spot every Monday night. So yeah, it'd be a little bit different. I know he said they were open to moving it to a different night. I mean, you'd have to assume that would have to be put on a Wednesday night.
There you go. Well, that's the answer I was hoping you would say.
I mean, if I'm not sure how how competitive Ari is with I'm not even sure if he knows what AEW is, but I'm not sure if that's his sense. It's like, oh, maybe we could just move it off a night, and he's probably thinking in ratings in that sense. But I mean, I would assume Wednesday Night Wars with the actual big dog, Monday Night Raw against Dynamite, and that's
what we call, folks, is leading questions.
Yeah, that's that. I mean, hey, if Tony's if we're looking forward to Tony whining and crying on Twitter, and they move it to Wednesday, prepare him to actually smash his phone and not be able to tweet at all, because
man.
They gotta go full force.
Tony. Yeah.
Crybaby.
Yeah.
Crybaby bitch.
Phone away for sure.
Yeah, come on, dude. It's business, dude, not personal.
Yeah. And we'll get into that stuff too in just a little bit. But man, I would not be open for them to move it at all.
Yeah,
it's weird. Monday Night Raw. Yeah, as much as I would like to see a quote unquote war, I really think you got to keep it on Monday nights.
Yeah.
If anything, if you're gonna have SmackDown, you got a new night. Put that on Wednesday.
Oh, SmackDown! Yeah, you could, because it's a 2-hour show.
Yeah. If you want to, hey, let's compete.
Oh man, you got to put Roman against these dudes. And possibly Jade, but even though they did kind of rumor she was going to be on Raw, now it's kind of like she's going to be hopping around to Raw, NXT, SmackDown. It's going to be kind of her decision. That's what I'm assuming they're going with, what brand she wants to stay with, or be with, because obviously she was a part of the PLE, and then Shawn Michaels texted her or called her, so she showed up on NXT, and apparently she's supposed to be on SmackDown at some point as well. I'm not sure if it's going to be this Friday with Roman returning, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, Raw's one thing you can get away with, but I'm not sure if you want to put SmackDown on a Wednesday with the Bloodline storyline and all that shit, dude. They'll really go crazy. Like they'll really like put the screws to AEW if that's the case.
Man,
That'd be scary, dude. It's scary to watch. But the flip side of that is Tony Khan will hopefully he'll grow up a little bit, stay off of Twitter and use that energy if they do have to compete against each other. Use that energy in booking, make it a better show. That's all he really has to do.
Let's go. We're gonna go ahead and get into the Tuesday Night Wars because I got some things to talk about that. Let's head over to Collar and Elbow.
Collar and Elbow.
Kind of bleeds in ring and out ring and stuff, but
or NXT could have played the NXT.
We're on the apron. We're holding the tag rope right now. But what was your overall thoughts, real quick, on the Tuesday Night War?
I thought both shows are good.
Yeah.
I didn't think there was anything bad about either one.
I actually watched NXT this week, so it wasn't a delay, but
that was the whole point, was to
right.
Those people that aren't watching NXT, you bring in those big names, and now you're able to see like what the younger guys are doing in ring, and hopefully you were impressed by the Braun Breakers and all those. I mean, you've seen them before anyway, but a lot of great matches too that night on both sides.
Yeah.
They kept with the thing I liked about NXT too. They didn't like make it like a nostalgic act show. They actually still carried the storylines over. Because the week before, Braun Breaker interacted with Carmelo Hayes and said, "Hey, where was Trick when you lost your title? He wasn't there standing by your side, but you were there on his side." And like they kept that storyline going with Braun Breaker and Carmelo Hayes feuding. Same thing with they kept that same storyline going with John Cena in the middle of them too, when they had that promo in the back about like they're kind of acting like they're happy for each other, but they're not really happy for each other in that sense. And when Carmelo Hayes walked off and Trick was like give him that stare down, and Cena's like, "Hey, what's going on, man?" And he's like, when do you think it's my time? Or when did you know it was your time? And he's like, "Oh, let me talk to you." So like, it wasn't like they like stopped everything they were doing in the NXT universe just to have these people on. It was like they continued on with what was happening with the storyline, but just included, obviously the Undertaker's probably the outlier in that because he really didn't have any say in that. But I thought both shows are good. Obviously, Christian kind of hell of a promo, kind of tried to bury the Judgment Day, but I mean, if he said that way back when it first started, that probably would have, that probably would did some damage.
Well, the thing is they were that little Halloween gimmick, like he says, whenever Edge was the leader of it. So,
yeah. But what was that, a year ago? Like, come on,
right? Yeah.
I mean, they're way. I mean, they're a lot more established now than they were back then, which is awesome. Orange Cassidy. I'd seen people. I didn't really read any of the tweets or social media posts, but people were upset about him, like coming back and winning the title or something. I don't know. It's not his fault. Obviously, Mox got hurt. Wasn't clear to wrestle. Once I seen that, actually, I knew that was kind of like that was going to be like not a downfall, but I knew that was going to be a stumble for AEW that night with Mox being out.
Nah,
not like bad luck, like kind of like bad luck in a sense where not like he was going to make or break like the viewership. It was more or less like
that match was kind of somewhat thrown together anyway. I mean, I know they're basing off the injuries, the rematch, but I don't know. I just didn't have enough meat on the bone for me. I got a little bit of hot shows. I got a little bit of hot take here.
Hot takes here. Get your hot takes here.
Actually, as I was in the button, I forgot. Seth actually mentioned this on the Chick-fil-A show a couple weeks ago, but I think Trick Williams is a bigger star. He's the money. He's the draw over Carmelo. Yeah.
I agree.
I Carmelo, and again, Seth, I said this, but I've always he's great in the ring, but there's like little things that's bothered me with him. Like the way you could clearly see him talking to the opponent. Like, it takes me out of it. That's honestly one of the biggest reasons why I kind of stopped watching NXT. It's little things like that. It's like it's not crisp thing, execution that's happening. And to be fair, obviously these men and women are learning on the fly, and I get that. But you just need. It feels like those things have never just been addressed, and they keep happening.
Yeah.
I guess my other kind of issue with the show the other night is, like, it was great. Like, they carried storylines over, but then they had stuff like with Paul Heyman, and he's like impressed with Braun Breaker, but they're not gonna do anything with that. So it's like that storyline dies.
We don't know. We don't know what's gonna happen.
I don't see Paul Heyman going back to NXT.
Well, we're not going back. Braun Breaker might appear on the main roster.
Well, I mean, you could have that, but I don't know.
He did the same thing with Ava Raine too, The Rock's daughter.
Right.
He was like, they had that like found footage thing, and he's like, showing her the bloodline thing. I could see that happening too as well.
That would be pretty fucking cool.
I mean, I don't think and I'm just going back to what Nick Khan said. They are cross breeding with all these shows. Like with NXT is the third brand, so
yeah,
it might not happen right away, but I can see it happening, man. I can see I can definitely see at some point. I'm not sure what's gonna happen. I have this weird feeling. I know we're still talking about NXT, but I have this weird feeling when Roman Reigns comes back, it's gonna be the beginning of him, changing, not being really a heel, but sitting back, seeing what's happening with his family.
Oh, my brother, testify.
Dude, that is good.
So
he's good.
He's gone for months, and there were rumors of him at some point turning heel. I mean, turning face. But I think this would be a great beginning stage of him being away, right? Seeing everything happen and seeing Jay partner up with Cody, winning titles. He's happy as hell. You see Solo and Jimmy, they're just out of control. They're not even listening to Heyman anymore. It's like they're just doing their own thing. Heyman's just lost he let his hair go gray. He's not even dying anymore. The stress is getting to him. I think it's either Roman comes back and tries to get the band back together, or he comes back and he's just I have to be alone. I can't deal with any of this stuff happening. I don't know, but I think I just have a weird feeling he's his character. There's a character change happening with Roman at some point, which will make
I think that's spot on, actually.
Yeah,
I do like that a lot. I mean, I think that if you're gonna do it, now's the time to do it.
Yeah, he's been away. Now he can look at the whole picture and say, "Holy shit, I caused all this. I caused my my bloodline to leave and go to another show that I'm not even in charge of them on. I have Jimmy and Solo not even listening to Paul Heyman anymore. I've lost control of my entire family. Is this worth it?" And
that might be my favorite take you've ever said in the 101 episodes.
Well, the other thing too is you've seen glimpses of it, but obviously he, I don't need this. You think I want this? That whole thing. But then obviously he turns his back or low blows somebody. But this time it's now he can say it and be holy shit, is this really worth it? Everyone's on different pages. Do I really want my my cousins fighting each other? And
right.
Do I want my enemy Cody Rhodes being Jay's best friend? They're drinking buddies. Yeet. Dude, that was a great. By the way, that was the greatest the thing that scrum, if you want to call it, that they've ever done, dude. A drunk Cody and a drunk Jay, dude. Tell me you don't want to hang out with those two.
And I'm sorry, these people were "Whoa, Jay, he's had a bunch of DWIs. He shouldn't be drinking." Dude, he's obviously going to be he's on Cody's bus. He's probably riding on Cody's bus.
Oh, yeah. No, Cody's not going to let that happen, dude. He's Cody's taking care of him, dude. He's
just because the man's had a couple instances with the DWIs doesn't mean he could be all right, look, I'm going to enjoy my life, but I ain't going to go behind the wheel anymore.
Yeah, it was on camera. They knew about it. They if it was that bad, they wouldn't let him on camera. They would have cut that shit short. They would have been like, nah, he ain't going out there. I mean, and Cody was as well. And then even Triple H joked about it when he came on after them. He was like, I'm supposed to follow this.
Yeah.
And then he was like, yeet. So like, it wasn't like a big deal. Yeah, people need to shut up about it. Be worried about freaking Tony Khan tweeting like crazy, trying to like.
Yeah, and we're kind of
That's annoying, dude.
Night Wars, and this is where it kind of bleeds in. Tony's worried about these ratings and all this stuff, but honestly, like,
it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it really doesn't matter, and like he's buying into what all these Twitter marks, X marks, are saying. Like, oh yeah, we got to do this, and so he's becoming one of them.
Yeah,
he's becoming one of them. Like, well, I see. Actually, a couple weeks ago, it was funny. I was at we did a trivia show and this bar, and I was with a buddy of mine. It was a wrestling trivia night, and like there was like a controversial question, but we're like, there's nothing more than Mark's like, well, actually, if you're being real, like, the Inoki Vader match was actually 3.5 star, or something like that.
Oh my god, jeez.
That's kind of what he is. He's, at first I was like, okay, it's kind of funny, the bald hassle stuff, whatever.
That was kind of funny. Yeah,
that was funny. But like the stuff he tweeted out, like, what was it like? Oh well, they couldn't even get to 1 million with this, and then I'm like, yeah, because the viewership was split.
True.
And honestly, like, I have no problem with the numbers either way. And if I'm being real, like I tend to like probably lean more towards AEW, just because I like a little bit more of what they give me. But I've loved WWE too. I mean, that's what I grew up on.
Yep.
And so I don't really have any skin in the game. Frankly, I could give two shits on who won.
It's yeah.
Like I mentioned in the Pod Foundation chat, is that instead of having 700,000 viewers tune into wrestling on Tuesday night, you had 1.5 million.
Yeah,
that's the cool part.
Yeah, that's the best part about it,
right? So, but it's fun to kind of like, oh, this and that. I get that, like, and it's fine. But like, if you dive deep into like what Tony's doing, like, dude, you just look dumb. Stop.
Yeah, that's what annoyed me the most was like, obviously, like we're all fans of wrestling, AEW. We're all fans of, like, I wasn't on that. We didn't get to talk about it last week, but I wasn't on the Edge hate train. He should be removed from the Hall of Fame because that's just stupid, like ridiculous. Like, that's not even. I don't even want to. That shouldn't even come up. Like, he did it. He's gonna hurt himself. AEW's known for, like, those people.
They're unsafe. They're unsafe.
It's like he knows that. He wouldn't have signed with them if he didn't think he was gonna, like, if it was gonna be like it was gonna be his last time ever wrestling. Like, just stop it with that stuff. And with the Tony Khan stuff, I mean, like you said, to me it was annoying. It was like, dude, you're like speaking to nobody. Yeah. You're not speaking. Triple H isn't checking Twitter. Vince McMahon isn't checking Twitter. Shawn Michaels sure the hell isn't. He might be checking Twitter and Instagram at the same time. He might be two.
Oh my brother, testify.
He's doing 2 apps at once. He's like looking at one or the other. So like,
it's a googly eyes.
He's like,
which ready to go? Which ready to go?
But no, like that was the most annoying part. I'm with you on that. Like, he didn't need to do that. Like, it's just let it happen. Let the night happen. Don't say anything. Keep those numbers to yourself. Don't try to get. It seemed like you're trying to get sympathy from, like you said, like the marks.
Loser, be honest,
like the social media marks. Like, they're not gonna, like, challenge you. They're just gonna, they're gonna agree with you for the most part.
It makes you look bad. It's like, oh well, actually we did this. It's like, just
actually,
stop.
If you look at the statistics,
it's like, hey, well, look, hey, congratulations to NXT.
This is the first. Yeah, wasn't it something like this?
It's fun.
If you look at this, if you look at the statistics, technically, it's the first time, the second time that John Cena and Undertaker drew under 900. It's like, who cares? No, I don't care about that shit.
Yeah, and if anything, like now you've shown your weakness, right? You've shown your weakness that you care. So, like we were talking about earlier, if WWE says, well, we might find their weakness, let's throw SmackDown on Wednesday nights.
Yeah. He's shown like a vulnerability, which he shouldn't.
Right.
It's like you don't see Vince McMahon like, I mean, there was no social media, but like they would throw jabs at each other on the show. Like obviously that type of thing, like jokes thrown back and forth. Like you have, with the new generation, you got all the old bastards on WCW, that type of stuff.
Right here.
You, the audience, are quite frankly tired of having your intelligence insulted.
Exactly that. Like it's like when you respond like that, that shows that like you're not like behind your product, essentially. Right. It's like that you you didn't do a good job at what you were supposed to do that night, and now you're venting, essentially.
You're making excuses.
Yeah, don't make excuses.
Just like Ace said in the tavern chat, he said it's like Bischoff on the motorcycle right now. It's like 100% true,
Yeah.
Like you were just like, I think he said something like we're like 3 weeks away from him challenging Vince McMahon at Super Bowl.
Triple H, yeah, he's gonna get that bald asshole. He doesn't have the balls to step into AEW. Yeah. That's pretty much what's gonna happen.
He's gonna hold up a Paul Fears Tony sign.
Yeah, they're gonna have like the one of the next pay-per-view, was it Full Gear? They're gonna have like the helicopter circling, like, oh, we don't see the Triple H limousine yet, but we'll keep you posted throughout the.
Anyone that's listening to this that lives that's going to Full Gear, please somebody make a Hunter Fears Tony sign.
Oh man, please,
or
please
vice versa.
It's like I said, I think we're at the point too. Like we're a little bit older than most of the people that watch, AEW, WWE. So we're not like really invested in the. I'm not invested in the tribalism. I can give two shits.
Yeah,
as long as you put on a good show, that proves it right there.
Right.
Like that's all you had to do was just.
All the shows are good.
They're telling you, like they told you up front. They said we're gonna have John Cena, we're gonna have Paul Heyman, we're gonna have Undertaker, we're gonna have Jade Cargill on the show. Your move. Now book around that. That's all he had to do was book around all that. Like, what do you?
I think he did a good job. I
think so too.
It was actually very well told story. I like how they kind of intertwine all the storylines, especially at the end. And it was just like, I know people keep saying it's like the WCW chaos, but now you want to tune into next week, like, oh, what's going to happen next week?
See, I don't really buy the WCW chaos thing. It was more, it was like the Vince Russo crash TV type shit. That's what I like to.
They were doing that before Vince, though.
That is true. Yeah,
they were doing that. That's definitely a Bischoff thing.
Yeah, that's true. I'm trying to be diplomatic and not put it on.
Yeah, I mean, they were doing that in like 97, 98. And Russo wasn't. He was in WWF then.
Yeah, that's true.
They were doing that stuff, especially with Tony going, "We're out of time."
Yeah, like that. But dude, they had Timeless Tony with a silent film, dude. That was amazing.
It's good stuff.
Obviously, Edge and not Edge, sorry, Adam Copeland and Luchasaurus. That match was pretty awesome. Daniel Bryan getting involved and stuff like that. Like, are they trying to recruit him into the Blackpool Combat Club? I don't know. Maybe.
Be cool.
We'll see what happens. But I mean, no, they had an awesome show. AEW they both had great shows.
Yeah,
it just shows that one can play the game if you need. No pun intended, but one is able to play the game if they have to. Like they can reach back into that well of talent and go, come on back.
Right.
Brock Lesnar, they can call up Brock Lesnar. Hey, Brock, you want to come out and do some shit? Come destroy the whole NXT roster or some shit like that. But yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. I'm looking forward to. I hope they go head to head again.
Me too. Well, and
the next time
actually they will next year whenever NBC starts having Saturday night's main event. Saturday night main event Collision. So
that's what I'm looking forward to. And then now Tony, he takes this loss, right? He takes this loss.
Take your L, Tony. It's gonna be okay.
Take your L, and then
really, even though it's not really an L, you had a good show. You're the one that's saying it was an L by being outwardly defensive, but go ahead.
Yeah, both had great shows. I mean, you kind of took a defeat, we'll say, not an L. You took a little stumble, but now you take that, and now the next time when you know you're going head to head, now you just pull out the big guns. Now you book stronger, you book faster, you book crazier than they can. Watch the tapes, watch the game tape, like study their moves, like steal from them if you have to, like and vice versa. Guarantee they're doing the same thing. Guarantee they had people watching AEW at the same time. You know, let's see what they did here. All right. Oh, when's this person coming on? All right, get the segment going.
Yeah.
Like, do that, man. I'm looking forward to it. I love what this competition, because like everyone said, you know, in general, it's good for us fans when we get to see, you know, wrestling at its finest. Essentially, that's all I care about. But the only thing I want is Tony to not fucking go on Twitter and fucking like a bitch.
Well, let's get it. Let's quick do a quick FASTLANE report here. What were some of your kind of overall takes? I mean, what did you think of the show? Is there anything that really was like surprised you or stuck out to you?
Cody and Jay winning. That was
not I said the J Bone. Yeah, I picked that in our predictions.
I didn't think they were winning. I thought they're gonna like. Why would they? I didn't think they would make them a tag, like, because it's that whole, you know, finish a story shit, and now like what the fuck's going on?
Now you got some heat, which for Survivor Series, which we'll talk about in a little bit.
Yeah.
To build to that.
Yeah. Other than that, I thought it was a decent. Actually,
it was a fine program.
It was a fine program. Charlotte did not belong in that triple threat match at all. Should have been a one-on-one with Io and Asuka. That's what everyone was looking. You could tell by the crowd, like,
yeah.
Even early in the match, got Charlotte out with like injured her early so she could like be out of the match.
You got to keep Charlotte away from the titles. Just build a. I've been saying that now for like 2-3 years. Build a mid-card women's
storyline, like,
or so even a storyline. Not even mean mid-card, just a storyline. Like, do something. You know, you got Jade coming in. You know, I mean, you do something like that. I mean,
you still got Bailey. You got.
I mean, there's
so many people there that they can like start. Just have a story, just like you said, like not a mid-card. But a storyline, just something that will get, like, she has to, like, she should be on, she hasn't had a redemption story yet or anything like that. Like, you know, she takes, like, a huge loss. She lost at Mania. There was no redemption. There was no, like, you know, she's losing match after match after match. She's lost her confidence. None of that stuff. Like, that didn't happen. Like, that's what we like. They're not all invincible. Like, they see it, they make the women seem like they they can't lose and they can't like go through. They suffer defeat and go through these like doubts and all that stuff. Like I want to see that.
Right.
I want to see the insecurities. I want to see like a storyline where Charlotte's like, "Holy shit, I might not be as good as I think I am." There's women out there that are way better than me.
You're hitting it hot tonight, man. You're dropping knowledge.
Like, dude,
knowledge.
Tiffany Stratton's like on my ass right now. Like, she can show up on the main roster and just take my spot.
Damn.
That's what she should be scared of. Like, that's what should be the storyline. I don't know, man. I don't like.
Jeez.
We want more for the women's division, especially with storylines. That's what we care about. We care about.
My brother, testify.
I don't know what's gotten into me. I think it's, I've been on a crazy interview run on an open mic, and I'm just like, all these ideas and stuff are popping in my head. But yeah, man, I don't know. You're right, dude. There should be some type of redemption story, something, not even a redemption, just a storyline in general, just something to engage us and stop making it seems like they always want to make the women's title the centerpiece of every storyline of all the women's storylines. It's like, you don't need the title to have a storyline.
Right.
Just have a fucking storyline. Bring up old shit with her and Bailey and have a fucking non-title storyline between her and Bailey. Like fighting for who's the best out of the 4 horsewomen or some shit. I don't know. Like, something. I don't know, something. Maybe Triple H will, do something about that. Who knows?
I was surprised that Lashley and the Street Profits lost. I thought for sure they would.
Yeah, win. I picked them to win. I think
that one kind of like, but I mean, I get with Carlito. I mean, I guess you can't. I mean, I get it, but that's how you gonna bring Carlito in. I don't know.
Does
Not a fan of
LWO
it.
turn bad at some point? Do they kick
I
Ray
that's what
out?
I kind of do hope. Like they all turn on Ray, and we still keep the LWO intact. Because Ray doesn't need the LWO necessarily,
No.
and it would be good storyline because that's his connection with Eddie and all that stuff. So if they do that, I'm okay with it. But
Yeah.
keep Carlito babyface.
No.
Story's boring, pal.
Nah, man. Book it. Next year, Carlito versus Roman Reigns in Puerto Rico. Let's go.
Oh baby,
that freaking roof will blow
get
off,
ready
dude.
for the batteries to fly.
I know, right?
And the cup's full of piss. But yeah, other than that, it was a fine program. I enjoyed it.
It was decent.
decent.
Were you surprised at the last man standing
No,
match? You weren't surprised at the finish of that?
no.
No.
I just smelled it. Now, I for some reason they did a good job building Shinsuke and keeping him the way he is. It's really good. It just felt like they weren't going to give him the title. I just
Yeah.
felt it in my loins. I mean, I don't, it's fine. Now, one thing we could talk about as we get into it, Drew McIntyre will be challenging Seth Rollins at Crown Jewel. That kind of surprised me. That's interesting to me. Very intriguing. I think this could be a real chance for Seth losing the title.
I think so too. Yeah, you're right. I think the way he's interacting with Judgment Day.
I was about to say that too.
And him and Damian Priest not really, obviously they're not going to get along at all. I can definitely see him beating Seth, and then like him and Damian Priest, having like a feud or some shit like that.
Right. Or Damian comes cashing in on him.
That is true. That's also true. But yeah, I could see Seth losing that Crown Jewel, dude.
Yeah.
Drew, man, he needs to get back in he has this I don't give a shit attitude now.
Right.
Like, don't trust anybody, like DTA, Stone Cold era. That's what he's pretty much doing.
Scott Stone Cold.
I'm not getting involved in that shit. He can get beat down all he wants. I'm not dealing with you, but I like it, and I think it's a possibility. What do you think? Do you think he has a? Do you think?
I think he does. I think he has a real possibility. I do like how when Damian Priest tried to cash in,
he was just like he launched that shit, dude.
Yeah, he launched it.
He threw that shit fucking almost at the screen, dude.
Yeah.
He was just like, it was hilarious. But yeah, can't wait for that feud to happen.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. They always put on good matches, so it's very intriguing. I like it when they at least build something to Crown Jewel, not just like, hey, let's bring back Yokozuna versus the Ultimate Warrior.
Holograms.
Yeah, let's have AI wrestle each other. AI Yokozuna versus AI Ultimate Warrior.
Might be looking at it already, dude. You never know.
Yeah, you never know. But yeah, decent show, like I said. So we'll see. Do we have anything else for Crown Jewel?
I think that was it for now. I don't think there was anything else. There's rumors of Roman Reigns and either John Cena or AJ Styles happening, but I haven't seen any concrete things. But that's a rumor. Definitely, obviously, Roman Reigns.
But I think Roman is supposed to be at the show.
I
think he's advertised for it. So
yeah, so it's either I heard the rumors of him and AJ or because of the bloodline.
Him and AJ makes sense. That makes sense to me.
Cena, I think he's supposed to be involved, but I'm not sure who he's.
The Cena runs has been garbage.
Yeah.
Just who cares?
That match was that bloodline in LA and yeah.
Yeah. It was an attempt to get LA Knight over.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I'm thinking LA Knight is a dying star here.
I think so. I think I'm with Seth on this one. When he's been talking about, he thinks it's going to be like a flash in the pan, and it's kind of
looking that way.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
They got to do something more than just him facing the mid. Like, do something meaningful. Like, not okay. I'm going to team with John Cena. Like, have him in a one-on-one non-title match with Roman and have him pin him or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that. Something meaningful, not just this. Oh yeah, I like John Cena. Yeah, I can't see him. Yeah. Anyways, let's see here. What else we got on the docket here? Let's talk real quick. The Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic.
Yeah.
Of course,
Yeah.
Cody announced it. I'm not really sure which tag teams you're going to put in there. You got to build to some, but
yeah.
I'm presuming it's going to be NXT. I mean, NXT, it's an okay.
Yeah.
Not like it was back in the day.
No. I think they might add main roster tag teams to it.
I think I was actually going to say that.
Yeah.
Like,
I
think
that's
you kind of have to.
Yeah.
At least
the
one
Creeds,
or two of them.
I can't wait to see the Creeds in there. The Creeds and
Viking Raiders or the Street Profits or something.
Probably New Day will be in it.
Yeah.
If they can get back, if they can stop being like one-off injured, like
the
other one's back and the other one gets injured. Alpha Academy will probably be in it as well. So I'm hoping they make it a mishmash of NXT.
That's kind of what I was thinking too. Because you really got to start building this tag division better.
Yeah,
I mean, it's just
DIY. They'll probably be in it.
Like okay, having Cody and Jay tag team champs, whatever, that's fine. But they're not a team.
No,
and
still don't get it. I'm with Michael Cole.
I mean, even though I could see it coming, I didn't understand it. I was like, this is typical WWE booking right here.
Yeah.
But,
that was Vince McMahon's last okay, like
Vinny
make them champs.
Vinny picked up the phone. It was there. I bet you Triple H has a red phone, and once that rings, he's like, "Oh, I got to pick it up."
He's like,
Batman. Damn it!
Like,
put Cody and Jay in there. They're funny.
Oh my god, dude, that was the last straw right there. He was just like, "Fuck!" Now I got to take the titles off of him on SmackDown on tomorrow night. I think
joy destroying lives.
I think the rematch is on SmackDown, right?
Yeah, I think so. I think I had heard rumors too that they might be getting new tag titles.
Okay,
that's what I've heard rumors of that. I don't know if it's tomorrow night, but I heard it's coming. I hope if they do that, Cody brought back the old school IC title. Let's bring back the old school tag titles, baby.
Oh man, I mean they already make them on WWE Shop, so might as well with the WW on it.
Yeah,
just update the logo.
So let's F and go. Come on, now.
All right, okay, I like that, but I have a feeling it's going to be, you have like the bloodline that joined up with Judgment Day. Roman's back. I have a strong feeling they might be losing those titles tomorrow night. They'll just be like a fucking. Just Judgment Day getting involved, Bloodline getting involved.
Well, look who decided to join us. So
who it is.
So early this evening, Mr. TNT himself, Tyson Trevino. What's up, I only said that. I want him to come back with something. Come on, Tyson. Give it to me.
Yeah, Anthony's not here anymore. Now you can watch us without seeing Anthony's.
Give me your comeback, Tyson. I want it, pal. Yeah, I forgot what we were talking about. Oh yeah, the tag titles. Yeah, I really don't know what's gonna happen. I mean, this could kind of lead into War Games, of course.
Yeah,
gotta have Judgment Day, of course, involved. So Dominic, Damian Priest, maybe Finn Balor, and
JD.
JD.
JD McDonough.
God.
And then
I would rather, you know what? I would rather leave JD out. Let's bring in Jimmy, bring in Solo.
yeah, probably that's what it'll probably be. It'll probably be Jimmy Solo, and then the Bloodline, the JD boys, we'll call them. The JD boys and the Bloodline boys.
Tyson says, where were you guys last week? We were here. Where were you, Tyson?
Yeah, where were you?
God, dog.
Missed an episode, dude. That's not like you at all.
Yeah.
I think it's the JD boys.
Because we're the
Bloodline
JD boys, and we're trying to make it.
And on the other side, what is it? Jay, Cody, LA Knight. Like, who do you put? Like, you can put.
It's gonna be like
it's gonna be a weird crew. It's gonna be like.
It's gonna be an Avengers group.
I don't get it. It's gonna be.
Cody J, Sammy
LA
KO,
Knight, John Cena. Is he in it? Like, how does this work?
God,
there's so many there's more good guys than there are bad guys. So
Roman. That's really Roman. Makes the story up. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm gonna team with you guys just one night. No, but I don't know like what that team looks like on the other side.
I mean, you could probably do like Drew or Seth.
I don't.
Yeah,
I feel like it's gonna be like AJ Styles because they beat the shit out of him, and like
better check your video and your notifications now.
Yeah, we actually had to delete the episode because it was too.
It was
YouTube,
risque.
Yeah, it was too risque. YouTube, we violated the guidelines of YouTube, so we had to take it down.
Guidelines of YouTube.
Sorry,
pal, you missed it. You missed all the juicy topics.
Oh yeah, but I don't know, man. I like the idea of war games. This year doesn't kind of make sense at all, really. Last year it did when it was bloodline, the full bloodline at its peak.
Yeah, it was fun
against the guys that they
you were there live
every week. But now it's like a mashup of Judgment Day and Bloodline versus a mashup of Raw and SmackDown. I guess I don't know.
No, we can't do that. No, leave Raw and SmackDown out of that. I guess something else we didn't leave off too on outside the ropes. But speaking of Survivor Series. Look in my uns. What do you see? Mr. Charles Manson Punk. He is attempting to serial kill the wrestling industry with his bare hands. No, I mean, Punk. I guess all reports. If you believe the reports, it'd be interesting. Could be a work.
Could be.
WWE said, nah. So,
yeah.
Is that good or bad?
I don't know if it's true because it said it said Triple H, Nick Khan, and
Vince.
And Vince McMahon said no. I don't believe any of that shit.
The thing is it's not necessarily up to them three. I mean, unless Ari says, hey, you pick who you want.
Yeah, people are forgetting that it's not the WWE anymore. It's TKO. So there's people above Triple H and Nick Khan that can make those decisions for them. They'd be like, "Hey, dude, we love CM Punk. He was in the UFC. He did some stuff for us. Now, fucking bring him back.
We love Pepsi Phil."
Yeah, they can easily say that. So I don't know. I don't believe any of those. Rumors. We'll see though. I don't think he's showing up at Chicago though. But I don't believe the rumors that he's,
be interesting.
They denied it. If they did, then, like I said in our group chat, I said he needs to play the rounds, dude. Just become an indie darling.
Tyson says, "What did J-Bone do? His other bone?"
Maybe.
You never know. Foot long. Yeah. Who got the foot long?
Oh my god, dude!
This show's off the rails without Anthony now.
I know, right? Yeah, no, I love it. He doesn't keep us in line. This is good. It's a raw down. It's supposed to be raw. It's not supposed to be
raw.
Yeah, it's not supposed to be all PG. This is Attitude Era over here.
Yeah, this is the attitude. Yeah, we're in the attitude era of the RAWDOWN.
Yeah, no more PG era with
I'm about to show you my boobies.
Yeah. Are you ready for the grind?
Are you boys ready for the grind?
So light up a fatty for this pimp daddy.
Jay won't show me his movies, and I like them too.
Oh boy! But yeah, I don't know about Pepsi, Phil. Like I said, it's the powers that be are it's a different power structure now. So
What if he came out as Coca-Cola Charles?
I don't mind it.
Or
they
repackage somebody as Coca-Cola Charles.
We kind of skipped us too. The Brian Pillman Jr.
Oh yeah, I meant to actually bring that up.
Taking on a different name. We'll take it on his mother's name.
Borderline, especially the way they did it. Borderline pisses me off, but at the same time, I know I'm getting worked. But
yeah,
like for me, I'm a huge Pillman mark.
Yeah,
and at the end of the day, like okay, I get it, but like the way they did it is just like completely just trashing Pillman's name. Like I'm not a fan of it at all. I don't know whose call that was. I don't think it's Brian's call. I feel that way because if it was, he would have done that already.
Yeah.
You know? I don't know. I'm not a fan of what they're doing with him. If he just came out like as Lexus King, like okay, whatever, that's your name. But like the way he'd be like, oh yeah, I grew up as a king, that's the name that I recognize. Like, dude, what has King done in wrestling?
hey, Jimmy King, don't forget.
Oh, I forgot about Jimmy King.
I will rule you. I will rule you. Yeah, man, Jimmy King, dude. Don't besmirch the name of King.
My bad.
Jerry the King Lawler?
Well, that's not his last name.
Yeah.
But sorry, Jimmy King. My bad.
I will. I wonder if that's still that Twitter account, is that still active? I gotta check.
I don't know.
Jimmy King.
My apologies to Oliver Platt, the man.
He used to give I got a seal of approval before from Jimmy King on Twitter. He used to, he used to give like a seal of approval, and he would send it to you like in the mail.
What a great guy.
I still have it. I think I gotta find it.
Yeah, just I'm not a fan of it.
Yeah, I wasn't either.
I don't know why they have to own everything. It's so ridiculous. And if I'm a wrestler, if I'm somebody like Brian Pillman Jr., I'm like, screw this. Like I'm not gonna sign here then. Like I'll just work the independents. I'll go to Impact. He would have gotten way more out of it than going to Impact.
Yeah. True.
Make your name back, get it going, and then let AEW come crawling back, man.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Hopefully he's a
good talent. He's a good worker. I think he was just, and maybe this is part of it, but I think he was just playing the good guy too much.
Yeah.
Oh, Enzo hates it. He hates it.
Definitely needs to be a heel and hook up with Braun Breaker, and they could be like the like the Forgotten Sons.
I forgot. Yeah, I was going to
say. Do some shit like that. That'd be cool.
The League of Lost Last Names.
Yeah. Oh my god, dude! The League of Lost Last Names.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. There's not much to really say, but I mean, they did it with the Rock starter. I mean, Ava Raine. And like if they would have just done like something like that, like okay, there's really not like a meaning behind the Ava Raine, at least to what we know, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, as far as like in kayfabe land, right? If you would have just said, "Yeah, this is Lexus King," and then he has a heel character I mean, like, okay, I probably would be like, still not a fan, but I wouldn't have a bad taste in my mouth for it.
Yeah.
You know? So, I don't know.
It's enough to get me to the boiling point. Yeah.
Anyways, what else do we need to talk about?
What we did the Full Control. We did the Seth and Drew. We did the Fallout. I think that was that it. The twos.
Dragon Lee's going to be called up.
Yep. Yeah, he's supposedly he's on the. If you go on the website now, he's on SmackDown as an active.
Yawn.
So he's a major.
He got to keep
call-up.
his name. What the hell?
Yeah, he didn't change it. That's another. If you need another indication that Triple H is in power, they didn't change his name when he made it to the main roster.
So it's Michael Hickenbottom's fault. Then
Yes. Yeah, it's his fault. But I can see why they changed the Pillman name and stuff like that. It's he probably wants to. It was probably a decision on him too. Like he probably wants to establish himself away from the Pillman name and create his own lane.
He's gotta puke. He's gotta puke.
Yeah, Cody did it when he was just Cody. He dropped the Rhodes name and he wanted to establish himself.
That's because WWE took the name.
That is true. But even when he had to do it, that was his only option.
But I mean, the way he did it was perfect. Like, he's just all right. I'm Cody then.
Yeah,
can't take that name, pal.
Kid just goes Brian. I'm Brian. I'm gonna kick your ass.
Walter went as Walter.
That is true. That is very true. But he's scary. That's the other part of that.
Oh man, my dog is sorry.
He's not happy with any. Does not like the Pillman name change at all.
Yeah, he hates it. I'm with
huge fan of the Pillmans.
He's a big Pillman mark. Daddy told him well. We've been studying tapes. We've been watching a lot of early WCW stuff, especially Four Horsemen, into ECW, into
Hollywood Blondes, dude.
Hollywood Blondes, of course. Yes. Yeah.
Come on.
I know. All right. I think it's time we roll on out of here.
Hey yo,
Marco, what y'all got going on in Chick Foley land?
Oh man, we have a new episode of the Chick Foley show. It's not wrestling related. It's where we're joined by drum roll Hawk of the Turnbuckle Tavern.
My apologies.
And we go through we have a bracket, a 32 movie bracket. What is the scariest movie?
How come you guys didn't get werewolves?
Yeah, that's pretty much what. Yeah, did you listen to it yet?
No, but
that's
I've
pretty
already
much what
heard
happened.
about it. It's in my rotation. I'm gonna listen to it tomorrow. Actually,
no Silver Bullet, no American Werewolf in London.
He complained about a Turnbuckle Tavern. In fact, he also let me do this too.
Oh yeah, no, he
left a comment on the thing. It says, "This is it at Pastor Hawk. Warning: there are no werewolf films on this list because folks don't listen to the experts."
So we're joined by Hawk of obviously of Turnbuckle Tavern. It's a good time. It's a great episode. Definitely listen to it. It's like I said, it's a break from our normal wrestling figure talk and stuff like that. So yeah, it was a good time. First time we've actually all had Hawk on the show too, and my first time actually podcasting with Hawk. So that was an enjoyment as well. He's funny, man. That dude's hilarious. I hate to admit it. I hate to break the front.
I'm gonna have to mute you if you're gonna be happy. Right.
We're live.
As much crap as we give each other on the show on that past episode, it was funny. It was just funny hearing him just complain pretty much the whole time. So definitely listen to it. We have for the open mic side, I have about I think about 5 or 6 shows stacked already that haven't been released.
Damn.
So be on the lookout for that. Obviously, Kyle Peterson is the latest episode.
That was a good one.
Definitely check that out. It was awesome. It was great to have him on
Kyle's
the show.
man.
Good dude, great guy, funny. We even I put the clip out there. We talk about his doppelgangers and stuff like that, and which is pretty funny. But upcoming, man, I have obviously Heel Liz is coming up at some point. Hopefully, we drop that soon. Who else? Mike Bellcaster, Acefield. The Mike Bellcaster episode is pretty amazing. I got to say so myself. And actually have Matt Goldberg, figure photographer.
Oh, nice.
Just interviewed him last night, so that episode will be coming out soon. That was an awesome conversation with him. And then on Sunday, I'll be recording with my Halloween episode along with Over the Moon Salt, Casey,
Nice.
and Chick Foley. Sheena will be joining us, so they'll be joining and talking about all things Halloween, scary movies, costumes. You see what I did there? The costumes, Over the Moon Salt, cosplay.
Like,
See that? I mean, Sheena with her, she loves the horror movies and all that type of stuff. So bringing the two worlds together, and hopefully we have a good episode. But yeah, a lot of fun stuff coming from the Chick Foley camp, and obviously chickfoley.com. Join the Facebook group, Pod Foundation, all the updates you need for all the shows that we're talking about. Even Hawk, I guess you can add him to that. We can now.
I got, coming down the aisle pod.com is where you can find out everything coming down the aisle related. This coming week, I've got the one and the only, the co-host of the brand new show, The Goal Line, Mr. Seth Phelps.
Ooh, awesome.
Oh, yeah. Now, and we get to like football times wrestling talk,
Awesome.
Make it, blending the two passions of both of our lives. We both, of course, big football and wrestling fans. And then we also watch Goldberg versus Self High Five. Diamond Dallas Page,
Nice.
Halloween Havoc, 1998.
I like it.
Yeah, it was fun to relive that. Good match. Also, coming up, I believe next Friday. We haven't recorded. I think we were going to record this week and haven't solidified the dates, but it's definitely coming up. Miles and I will be doing another list. Top 10 Halloween Havoc matches.
Ooh.
Now, we're going to only be talking WCW. We're not going to get into NXT.
I wonder what makes number one.
We have to see. I haven't actually made my list yet.
Coal miners match. Is that the number one? No, I'm joking.
As of this recording, I don't know either. I have to think about it a little bit more. I got to do a little bit more research. But,
oh my god.
Yeah, so I think this weekend we'll probably record that. So that'll be out next Friday. So stay tuned for the list, baby. Other than that, we're rocking and rolling. Again, Pod Foundation. Check out Extra Cooler Show.
Oh yeah.
And of course, Turnbuckle Tavern. Their flagship, of course, was this. That was they dropped it on Wednesday. So speaking of Turnbuckle
Tavern, before you go, because you brought up Extra Cooler, I should say this. I'm working with Extra Cooler to do some new logo designs for the MVP Marco logo. Not that the Chads did a great job on it.
Yeah.
But, I want to kind of make it update it a little bit, as well as the open mic logo. So I actually, I was actually able to pin down the A-lister that is Nick, because it's hard to get a hold of him nowadays.
Yeah, I mean he's an underwear designer these days. So
yeah, he's like freaking. It's like I'm almost like I shouldn't even be talking to this guy because he's so famous now. But actually, you know what? Before I go, I actually had I had so many interviews that I did that aren't released yet. Nolan.
Nice.
I also interviewed him actually recently. Jeez, how can I I forgot about that. There you go. That's it. Yep, Extra Cooler special right there. By the way, get his new book if it's still available. I know it was like
it's available. Excuse me.
On his Etsy,
on Amazon. I think he's got some on his Amazon, but I think he has some personally that you can get from him.
Yeah, so. It's actually a signed copy too. So if you go through his Etsy page, I think it says in the description that he'll sign it, and you'll get like a random sticker as well. Ooh. So definitely order that. Yeah, definitely support Nick. He's one swell guy. He's a great guy. All right, now you can.
Great guy. So now we'll hit the outro music. Turnbuckle Tavern. Head over to theturnbuckletavern.com. Find out where Turnbuckle Tavern's at. If, of course, you're watching this, make sure you subscribe to YouTube, but also subscribe to Spotify and Apple. Not just one of them. Subscribe to both of them. Help a brother out. Make sure you leave a review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify as well. It helps the pesky algorithm get more eyes on the prize here. More eyes on Turnbuckle Tavern. We need it. We love it. We want it. Of course, you can also follow us on Discord, TikTok, Instagram, I guess X, Twitter, whatever, Facebook, and head over to our Pro Wrestling Tee store, where you got beautiful selection: Boney Giovanni, Boney Khan, Young Anthony, Hollywood Tony, MVP Marco, and of course a RAWDOWN shirt. And that's not enough. Get your own t-shirts. These are this underground store, teespring.com. You can get the RAWDOWN logo. You could be a RAWDOWN champion, or you could be Mr. Backlash, whatever you decide. Just head over to theturnbuckletavern.com for all of those great and wonderful links. Let's see if I can do this work. There we go. Well, Marco, it's been a lovely week for you with you. Next week we'll be back with another great episode.
Yeah, buddy.
Of the RAWDOWN. We'll talk all things WWE like we always do. And I'm having trouble. Here we go. And then as always,
Life sucks, and then you die.